Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to my Stampin' Up! Celebration Spotlight video, day 6. I've been doing daily videos to share inspiration with you for all of my favorite celebration products before they go away. There is just 36 hours left of celebration, so make sure you get your favorites before they're gone. If you're not familiar, Celebration is a promotion from Stampin' Up! Where you can choose free gifts for every $50 that you order. So I've been sharing project ideas with all of these awesome gifts throughout the last week. And today I'm focusing on the Penguin Playmates, which is my favorite of all the celebration gifts. The thing that I love most about this 12 by 12 designer paper is the colors. They're so refreshing and fun. I don't think I would have put all these colors together necessarily on my own, but I love them. Misty Moonlight is the dark blue. We have Soft Sea Foam, Fresh Freesia, and Just Jade. And I just find that to be such a fun combination for winter. Even if you don't use the penguins on the backside, look at this. Well, I guess this is the back side, but look at this side. I think that these patterns could work for so many different stamp sets and so many different cards, even without having to be like Christmas or winter, right? Like this pattern and the blue pattern, like you could make masculine cards with those. I see like fun little princess and unicorn cards with the purple snowflakes. So many different ways that you can use these. And then of course on the other side, we have the adorable Penguin Playmates. Now this image right here does coordinate with the Penguin Builder Punch, but the other images do not. And so most of these you can fussy cut. And I love how they have them spaced out so you can cut out and use those individual images on cards. That's what we're going to do today. And a lot of the samples that I'm going to share with you have the same kind of thing where they've fussy cut around the images to use on the card. So you don't need stamps, a lot of stamps. In fact, the only stamp we're going to make or use on the card that we're making today is just the sentiment. So I hope that you enjoy the card that we're sharing today using the Penguin Playmates. Tell me, because I'm sure you already have the Penguin Playmates designer paper at home. Do you already have this one? With 2 months of celebration already under our belt, I feel like you guys probably have this. And so I hope that you enjoy this idea. And if you don't have the Penguin Playmates designer paper, you can get it for free with a $50 order in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. I know, Bonnie, this paper is so stinking cute. I'm so glad, guys. Thanks for letting me know that the video looks okay. I don't know why Facebook does that sometimes. Sometimes my videos are all wonky, but we're good to go. So I'm going to jump right in. Let's start actually before our project. Let's start with some samples. I'm going to share with you some other projects using this Penguin Playmates designer paper. Some of these I've shared before, so they're going to look familiar. This one, I really love the way this turned out. This card base is Just Jade with a little piece that comes over the front, and then this card front is a piece of designer paper. So you can see the polka dots on one side and the scene on the other side. This card's really clean and simple. I used the layering diorama cards to cut icebergs or puddles, I guess. I think of them more as icebergs for the fussy cut penguin and the polar bear. Really simple card. I just added a tag with the sentiment, and then the cute stars are actually from the Halloween suite, but they go really well with this paper. Here's another one that I created. On this one, I actually used some retired snowflake embellishments, but you could also use the stars here instead. Another fussy cut bear to the coolest friend ever. And then I just layered some different pieces, 1, 2, 3 pieces of the designer paper. Here's one. This is a swap card by Mary McCormick. And this one she actually cased or copied right from the brochure. So let me get that out and show you. You guys know I love to copy from the catalog. I'm very often inspired by the projects that I see there. So you can see Mary was inspired as well by the catalog. So Fresh Freesia, and then she has fussy cut those Playmates and then added some of the snowflakes and the sequins there. Such a nice touch. Oh my gosh, awesome. I have been meaning to copy all these cards, especially like this one with the cloche. I still have to play with those dies. Okay, getting back to our card swaps. This next one is by Barb Mulliken, and she used the Penguin Place stamp set to stamp the penguin, and then we've got a little bit of the designer paper here at the bottom. So this designer paper, the Penguin Playmates, is going to be great whether you have the stamp set or you don't have the stamp set. The card I'm going to make today, like I said, I am using the words from the Penguin Play stamp set, but you could easily use words from any stamp set that you have already. All right, this next one is from Susan Campfield. I've got to open it up because it has kind of a different fold. So there is, you can see this piece of cardstock that wraps around, and that holds kind of this front flap. So the card is only in the center. You can still see that outline of the paper from the inside on the outside. So I thought that was kind of a clever little fold from Susan. Here's another one that's got a fun fold. Let me open this up. I demonstrated this in Thursday night stamp therapy. I used the alcohol on vellum, like the alcohol markers, and then spritzed it to create the background for the tag. That's a vellum tag. And then it has sort of a fun fold. I did glue down this last flap, but that whole piece of designer paper, and then it folds onto itself there. Fussy cut polar bear again, and then the happy birthday. This is going to be such a fun card to send to a friend who's got a birthday in the winter. Here's the thank you card. I made this in Thursday night stamp therapy as well. This is a pocket card. So if you remember, the designer paper is 5 1/4 inches by 12 inches, scored at 4 inches and 8 inches, and then the last panel is cut diagonally to create the pocket. Super easy card, clean and simple, and again with the cut designer paper. Love this black glittered ribbon. The white glittered ribbon is currently not available to order, but the black ribbon is in stock. So here's the white one, and then the black one. I love the black one, and I think it really pops against some of these lighter colors. Great contrast. This one by Joyce Ferracco is what inspired me to make the polar bear card. So she did not glue down that last flap, so you have the whole bit of designer paper that folds out. That's an awesome card too. Last one here, this one's by Karen Titus, and she has cut a whole family of penguins. So cute. So this isn't even like a winter or Christmas card. This is congratulations on your growing family. I love that. This paper really is so versatile for so many things. Like I said, whether you're making winter cards or Christmas cards, or just doing, using those backgrounds for other things. Okay, so, one more card. This one is by Carmen Melendez, and this is a tower card, a tower panel card. This one is a little bit bigger. In fact, when it folds flat, you're going to put this into a larger envelope than the medium Stampin' Up! Envelopes. Let me show you really quick. So here's like our regular medium envelopes that fit, that's like an A2 size envelope. So I'm going to make a Penguin Playmates tower panel card that will fit into a regular envelope. So the measurements I got, I've received several of the tower panel cards in the Great Big Card Swap. I feel really bad because my Post-it fell off this one. I can't remember who made this gorgeous card, but this one really inspired me as well. This was one that was sent in for the Great Big Card Swap. And then there was one, and it's across the room. Mercy Ermakoff just sent in another one with the Blackberry Beauty. Let me just grab it. Hold on. I have them across the room. This was the Great Big Card Swap. If you didn't see, I did that showcase last night. You can find the link on YouTube and here on Facebook. I showcased 72 fall-themed cards, and I will be getting them all sorted out and back in the mail in the next week or so. Where is Mercy's card? Of course, it's going to be like at the very bottom, right? Oh. Is it at the very, oh my goodness. No. Yep, here it is. Almost at the very bottom. Okay. Mercy used the Pretty Pumpkins bundle and stamp sets and those awesome die cuts. And she left a note here and said she got this idea from Dawn Griffith to use designer paper for the center. And so I am using those same idea and measurements that I looked up Dawn's video. I love using the designer paper for the center because it makes it less bulky to send in the mail. So that's where I got the idea for the designer paper. A lot of the panel cards that I've seen, tower panel cards, have used cardstock in the middle, and you certainly can use cardstock, but like I said, I think the designer paper just makes it a little bit easier to lay flat without being too bulky. Okay, so let's start with that centerpiece. This is the first time I've made a tower panel card. Maybe you guys have tried this card design at home, and if so, this might be a lot of repeat for you, but this was my first time. So I'm going to walk you through step by step. We're starting with a piece of designer paper that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I've scored at 1, 2, 3, and 4 inches. And actually, I want the blue stripes to go on the inside. So whatever you want to show up on the inside is the paper that you want to be on the inside, and the other paper is going to be on the outside, because the outside of this little tower is going to get completely covered up by the panels. So the only thing that's going to be visible is that inside. So I want my inside to be the blue stripes. That's what's going to be visible in the middle of the card there. And so I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive. I'm using the liquid adhesive on this skinny little strip. So just a little bit of the liquid glue, and then fold that over. And it should line up perfectly like that when you fold it over. So the best way, I think, to adhere those layers is to have it flat like this. All right, let's set that aside and let that dry before we assemble our card. Let's move on next to the panels. So this panel tower card has 4 panels that are going to stick onto the sides, and those 4 panels are 2 3/4 inches by 4 1/4. Now, if you're not that familiar with measurements, let me show you. This is a half a sheet of cardstock, so this is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. So this is a sheet of cardstock cut down the skinny way, and 4 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 are exactly 1/2 sheet of cardstock. Okay, so this, you will be able to make 2 panel cards from 1 sheet of cardstock. So this is essentially 1/8 inch, or 1/8 of a sheet of cardstock. Okay. Nancy's asking, do you think you could use plain old typing paper for the inside rather than using up the pretty designer paper? Absolutely, Nancy. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to just use regular paper. Designer paper might be slightly thicker than regular typing paper, so that might be an advantage. But I think once you get the panels on there, then I think that they're sturdy enough to hold up to it. But I would say the designer paper does just have a little bit more like body to it. And Nancy, I have a ton of designer paper, so if you want some 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 scraps to use up for the center of your tower card, I'll be happy to hook you up. Okay, these are going to be the panels. And then to layer on the panels, I have 4 pieces of designer paper that are 2 1/2 inches by 4 inches. Okay, so just 4 of these, and these are going to layer onto the cardstock panels. So let me go ahead and do that. I am using just regular, oops, got myself a sticky bit right in my finger. Okay, I'm just going to add these to, I'm using Misty Moonlight, which is the dark blue in this designer paper. You could probably, if you wanted to, use different colors for each panel. Or, 2 different colors. I just am keeping it clean and simple today and using the same color all the way around. So these layer perfectly on each panel. Okay. I'll have all the measurements in the video description when we're done as well. Next up, I have some pieces that are hand cut, and then I also die cut some labels. And this I kind of took from inspiration from this card with the die cut labels. These die cut labels are in the Stitched So Sweetly die set from the annual catalog. Here's the item number in case you want those, 151690. I love the Stitched So Sweetly. It has some scallop stitched rectangles, but then also some other tag shapes, and I find that I use this one a lot. So if you're looking for a good just label tag kind of set, then the Stitched So Sweetly dies are definitely ones to consider. So I have done the two different shapes, and I'm going to layer them here, and then I think I'm gonna turn it around there, and then I'm just gonna layer our I think I want to go that way, layer our critters on there. So for the labels, I'm just gonna do some regular adhesive, and then I'm going to add the Fussy Cut designer paper guys with Stampin' Dimensionals. Kathy's asking about the Stitch So Sweetly dies being similar to the postage label punch. Let me punch a postage label punch so you can see in comparison. I think that there might be a die that is a similar size, but the dies, the rectangle dies in this set have a nice rounded edge, whereas the postage punch is more of a, it has more like that rounded part is kind of cut off. Do you see? Let me punch one and you can take a look here. Okay, so I think I've got an extra label. There we go. You can see against the blue background. So this is the rectangular postage punch, and this is one of the rectangles from the Stitch So Sweetly. So you can see the edges, like the scallops are kind of cut off on the rectangular postage punch. Now size wise, we do have some smaller rectangles in here, and so they're skinnier though. Like here's one that's a little taller, that's about the similar width, and then this one is a lot skinnier. So similar shapes, I would say. I prefer the dies and the shape of these dies more than I do the punch. So I would say I use the dies a lot more than I use that postage punch. I hope that was helpful. Okay. Pinwheel tower. What is this called? Is it a pinwheel or a panel? Maybe it's called different things. Pinwheel is the word I was looking for. Nancy, thank you so much for posting that. Sometimes I get all these card names mixed up. Okay, I think I saw your comments. Let's go back to what we're doing with the Stampin' Dimensionals. So we're adding the critters now with Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm keeping this card pretty clean and simple. This is my very first tower card. And so you really could dress it up with die cuts and ribbon and, sequins and all kinds of things. But I'm just gonna be really basic with this one and show you just sort of the foundation of doing a pinwheel tower card so that you can recreate this at home and embellish it however you would like. This one I'm leaving blank so that we have somewhere to write. So for that, I'm going to bring in that Penguin Place stamp set. And I'm just using the season greetings and the snowflakes. So you could easily substitute different sentiments and different images if you don't have the Penguin Place, because you really can use this designer paper without having the penguin stamp set. So I know right now that punch is on not orderable. So if you're holding out for the punch, you can use whatever you have. Okay, there's our panels. In addition to the main panels, I do have some extra designer paper cut, 4 pieces that are 1.5 inches by 4 inches. And I'm going to show you where we're going to put these after we start assembling the panels onto the base. Okay, so our base is dry over here now, and we have 4 different sides that are 1 inch thick. And so each of these panels is going to go on that 1 inch that 1-inch strip. And I'm just going to use regular adhesive. If you prefer, you could use your liquid adhesive or tear and tape. And I'm lining that right up to the edge. Come on. I think the glue is sticking inside the tower. So right up to the edge. In fact, I might want to go just a hair over more. Right up there. Okay. And then the next one, and you can do these in any order that you would like. I'm going to do the penguin next. So I'm going to kind of just rotate these over and add the penguin next, right up to the fold line. And fold him over, and then we'll do the snowman. And our last one, I think I just have to put it on this way. It's going to go right up to that edge. Okay, so that's how it lays flat. And then when you open it up, it has this pinwheel. And so I've alternated between the scallop rectangles and the labels, scallop rectangle and the labels. And so now these other pieces of designer paper are going to go on the new panels, which is like the back side of the other panels. So these are definitely something you have to wait to put on until after you have your card assembled so that you know exactly where to put them. So I'm going to have polka dots on 2 sides. And then I did cut out some of this, like the scenes from the other 2 sides. So for this one, I will add, oh, which one should I add here? I don't like that you can see that paper. I'm gonna move it over just a little bit. Oh, okay. You guys know me, always tearing apart my cards. Okay, now you can't see that paper a little bit there. Okay, that's all right. So for this one, I'm gonna go and do this pattern. Wait. Yes, okay. And we're going to do polka dots here. And on the last panel, we'll have some of those cute little critters to go opposite our sentiment. Okay. That is it. Here is our finished Pinwheel Tower card. We have all the different panels with the snowman and the penguin and the sentiment and the fox. So this sits up nicely on your desk, a really fun card to display, but also folds flat and fits into that standard Stampin' Up! Medium size envelope. So you can send it in the mail. Really I don't think it sticks up unless you add some extra embellishments. I think you could get away with the regular postage. I hope that you enjoyed this project idea. Like I said, I did keep it pretty simple. You could definitely embellish more with ribbon and rhinestones and, you know, really go all out. But I just wanted to kind of show you the basic bones of the Pinwheel Tower card. I hope that you enjoyed this idea and all the others that I shared with the Penguin Playmates designer paper. If you haven't gotten it yet, it's not too late. You can still choose the Penguin Playmates designer paper as your free gift during Sale-a-bration, which ends tomorrow. Don't miss out on this awesome designer paper. You can shop in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. We have one more day of Sale-a-bration and one more day of Sale-a-bration spotlight videos. I'm not sure. I've got a couple more products that I need to showcase. Would you like to see the counting sheep and coordinating dies, or would you like to see more projects with the delicate dahlias? Those are the two products that I haven't featured yet. So leave a comment and let me know what you would like to see tomorrow, and I will see you right back here at 1:00 p.m. Central Time for the final celebration spotlight video. Thanks for tuning in today, and have a great afternoon. Bye.